Now, with the release of the NSA documents on Russian hacking during the election by The Intercept, and of course James Comey testifying later this week to Congress, you have the Nation editor, Katrina Vanden out there warning Democrats not to lose sight of Donald Trump's agenda by focusing too much on Russia. Let's take a look.
Democrats are making a mistake going in Russia, Russia, Russia all the time for two reasons. One, you're distracting from Donald Trump and the Republicans' mean-spirited predatory agenda. Tax cuts for the richest, hurting the working class, building up a military defense budget, squandering diplomacy, and deregulating the economy for the sake of the richest. I think Democrats have to have a bold, inclusive, populist agenda, get it out into the country, fight on health care, fight on jobs, fight on a different engagement with the world, and make sure that the climate issue is understood to be about economics, but shafting working people.
So don't let this overtake
Don't let this overtake it. And I think that is about a party that needs to be one of proposition, not simply opposition. Resistance is not enough. Building political power will demand something.
How about
resistance is not enough? I like that. I like a lot of things that she said. In fact, it's actually incredibly refreshing to hear someone on television say that, well, hey, man, there's a lot of news about Russia. We got a Trump presidency that is still attempting to do a lot of horrible things. Maybe we should focus on not only fighting that, but putting forward a bold progressive agenda. I like that. That's
Amen.
Awesome.
Yeah, some of us have been saying that for months now. Some of us have been saying that for a long, long time now. And you know, like we've said before, I mean, when it comes to the whole Russia thing, you know, not many people on the left are saying, oh, don't do an investigation.
Right.
You know, we're saying, yeah, that's fine. Do your investigation. Let's look into things. However, recognize a few things here. First of all, there's a difference between reasons for speculation and evidence. Those are two different things. Right now, we have reason for speculation, absolutely. We don't really have any evidence yet. That's what we're still waiting on. So in the meantime, this shouldn't take up 53% plus of a general news cycle. It just shouldn't, because you're over-speculating. And you have other things that you need to be focusing on, like Donald Trump has a bill out there that would completely gut unions forever with right to work going federally.
Yep.
The environment's going to continue to get worse. The AHCA is out there. Student loan debt is still out of control, and it's probably going to get worse if there's anything proposed by this administration. There's a bill out there that would end the separation between church and state, would completely end it. It's already in a shitty place to begin with. It would end it entirely. So there's some causes for concern out there that are very significant, and, you know, horrible policy happens when people are not paying attention and or apathetic. So this over-amplification of the Russia thing is not good. Furthermore, I think there's a lot of people involved with this on the defense side of the coin, on the whole, like, yeah, we're going to sniff these people out, rah, 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 that do not have an altruistic agenda. I think there are people that are involved with this that go on MSNBC every opportunity they get to talk about what the spies are up to talk about their fancy pants defense careers. They don't have good intentions here. They're not trying to find out whether or not our democracy has been hijacked. They're hoping to get their page in the history books of somebody that hopefully brought down a president. And they're taking advantage of people on the left that I think are still good progressives, but are a little misdirected in their focus right now.
Yeah, because think about it.
And are over-amplifying the Russian thing. I really do feel that way. I'm not going to name specific names at the moment, but there are members of the corporate media that you can see on MSNBC all the time that I think have very negative agendas with this whole thing. And there's progressives now that think these people are their friends. These people are not your friends. These people are not your colleagues. These people are not on the same side of the fence as you. These people are defense-hungry, war-loving Republicans that don't have your back at all. And you think they do because you really want Trump to go down for collusion. And I understand that. However, I feel like your energy is not directed in the entire proper place right now.
And let's consider, too, you know, the fact that if Trump goes down, well, all he is just a figurehead at this point. I mean, like, think about it. Like, the agenda that you spouted off earlier, right? The stuff that they're doing, that's not Donald Trump's agenda. Donald Trump doesn't have an agenda. He's basically there so he can be winning. That's all he cares about. He doesn't care about policy. I mean, what they're doing right now, the stuff that you laid out, this is the far right, Paul Ryan, Mike Pence agenda of privatization, cutting benefits, throwing out red meat to their base. You know, I mean, this agenda essentially creates more conditions for another person like Donald Trump to win more elections. You know, with all the focus on Russia right now, which I agree we should be investigating this more, we lose sight of a lot of the other stories. I mean, we talked about privatizing the FAA, or the fact that under Donald Trump, we've killed nearly 1,500 civilians in Iraq and Syria in 1 month. Just a month, we've killed over 1,500 civilians. Or that Donald Trump doesn't even acknowledge Pride Month right now, and he's been working to put a bill out that would basically, you know, the religious freedom stuff that would have essentially allowed discrimination based on religious freedom all across the country. So, you know, between the both of us, we've, you know, counted off a whole bunch of different terrible policy ideas and bills that they're putting out. And the Democrats right now, all they're just doing is they're screaming Russia, Russia, Russia. And that's what we're saying, hey, you shouldn't do. Like, hey, there are other things that are happening besides Russia. And I've been trying to cover all those other things and avoid covering Russia too much, right? So that's why you don't hear me talking about all the different stuff that's happening in the Russian investigation all that much, because I realize that there are other things that are happening in this country. And yeah, if I wanted to get a whole bunch of views, if I wanted to do all that stuff, I would be covering Russia, Russia, Russia nonstop, because there seems to be an appetite for it. But there are other things that are happening in the country, and these things are important to talk about. And so
not only that, but the corporate media's got it on lockdown. I mean, MSNBC is literally spending over 53% of their time on nothing but Russia. So, you know, we don't really have to put a ton of energy into it until there's actual conclusive evidence, if there ever is. And a lot of the people that are peddling this, that are on top of it from the defense side of the coin, they keep, I mean, you ask them, they're like, give it a year, give it 2 years, give it, and it's not because they're working, it's because, like, this is serving their agenda. They're profiting off of this. They're profiting off of the naivety of establishment Democrats and other people on the left that maybe their heart's in the right place, but right now their head is not. And they're over-amplifying Russia while ignoring everything else. And if nothing comes of this and nothing happens to Trump, which there is a chance that's how this all will end, we couldn't impeach a war criminal. You think we're going to get Trump on something that we don't have conclusive evidence of yet? And it's not like Trump's a smart guy that would really be great at covering his tracks.
You mean he's not like a smart person?
No. No. So, I mean, and, you know, again, if evidence comes up tomorrow, well, then that's the case. I'm not saying that it's not going to. I'm just saying, you know, we don't know at this point. And realistically, there's not a ton of reasons to be super optimistic. And I think there's some people out there pulling the wool over the eyes of people that just want this. They want to see this guy go down for collusion so bad that they're ignoring all the horrific things that could potentially happen. And they think some people are on their side that really aren't.
Yeah.
And I think this is the Iraq War all over again. It really is.
And I do want to say,
and I hope it ends a little better, but I don't, you know, I got my hesitancies, Jeff.
And I do want to say that it's not that we shouldn't talk about it at all. You know, there are some people out there that say, no, let's not talk about Russia whatsoever. There's the complete fat nothing burger. No, there's some interesting coincidences, but at the same time, maybe instead of just focusing on it, like you said, 53% of MSNBC's programming is Russia. How about instead of doing that, we take Katrina Vanden Heuvel's device and actually, instead of just resisting, offer a counterbalance, offer a counter narrative. For example, we don't like that Donald Trump is trying to privatize the FAA. Let's actually put more funding into it. Or, we don't like that they're talking about cutting Social Security. Let's talk about expanding it. We don't like the AHCA. How about we instead put forward Medicare for all? Here's what we want to do instead. Offer a progressive vision. And I haven't seen a whole lot of that coming from the Democrats, but I have seen it come from Bernie Sanders, and I haven't seen it come from some other Democrats as well. So, but this shouldn't be a hard thing to do. But again, there's so much, I guess, so much money in talking about Russia right now. And of course, the donors to the Democrats also don't want to focus on policy. They want to focus on scandal of the day, which of course isn't hard when you have somebody with, the mental capacity of Donald Trump, who, it has the mental capacity of a piece of driftwood, running the country and tweeting out stupid things every day and then doing stupid things and getting caught up with Russia. And, they don't want to focus on the policy, though.
Right. Yeah. Like you said, Jeff, and to sum it up, the corporate media is not irresponsible for talking about Russia. They're irresponsible for over-amplifying it.
Right.
As are, those in charge and those in politics, and, of course, those that are just doing nothing but profiteering off of this. And those people are out there, and I have a feeling they're eventually going to be exposed. So, and again, there's reason for speculation and there's evidence. Until you have the latter, it shouldn't be the only story of the day.
There you go. I think that's fair. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more like this, please hit the subscribe button below. And if you want to support truly independent progressive media, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/TYTNation.